What are governance tokens? Token holders can vote on the course that a blockchain project will take when they purchase governance tokens, a specific sort of cryptocurrency. The two fundamental goals of governance tokens are the decentralization of decision-making and the provision of holders with a voice in project management. Governance token holders typically have a greater financial stake in the project's success because they stand to earn or lose more depending on how the project turns out. Tokens give participants in a community the ability to exert direct control over a blockchain technology's development path and capabilities. As a result, it is feasible to apply modifications relating to the user interface, vote on fees and reward distribution, and even modify the code that underpins a project. Even if voting is the primary function of most decentralized finance, DeFi, tokens, other characteristics set them apart. People with these governance tokens can utilize them to obtain loans, stake them, and earn money through yield farming. Despite all of this, their primary responsibility continues to be power distribution. There is much controversy over the usefulness of governance tokens, although they have only been around for a relatively short period. Others are concerned that they will consolidate power among a relatively small group of stakeholders, although others feel that they are the key to genuine decentralization. Governance tokens are likely to lead to a new class of investors, who will be known as token holders. These investors include existing users of DeFi resources who are keen to get involved in projects, as well as crypto analysts and traders. Most stakeholders will be people who have previously been involved in ICOs but have yet to decide to invest independently. How do governance tokens work? Governance tokens enable token holders to vote on the future of a project. This is achieved through their participation in governance and voting rights, known as DAOs, which bring together many participants within the community and make it possible for them to utilize their tokens. The objective being pursued by stakeholders is typically different from one that benefits them financially but that the community as a whole will welcome. These stakeholders are developing a new decentralized finance, DeFi, token that will enable them to exert power over projects. Whether or not such projects should have governance tokens depends on the type of project. In some cases, they will be extremely beneficial because they will enable token holders to participate in decision-making and reap financial rewards. Other projects will not benefit the stakeholders and may harm the community if implemented as planned. Governance tokens can be divided into two major types. The first type consists of shareholder tokens, which are only issued when a blockchain project is developed to serve a specific purpose. The latter type, called membership tokens, provides ongoing financial support to the blockchain project without affecting its governance model. Governance tokens are the key component of any decentralized autonomous organization, DAO, decentralized financial institution, DeFi, or decentralized application, DApp, project that implements decentralized governance. They are frequently given out as recognition for the dedication and participation of active users within a community. To ensure the continued success of the initiatives, token holders are given the right to vote on important matters. In most cases, voting is conducted through smart contracts. The results are automatically implemented in this scenario. MakerDAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, DAO, built on Ethereum that serves as the basis for the crypto-collateralized stablecoin DAI, is credited with issuing one of the initial governance tokens. Holders of the Maker Protocol's governance token, MKR, are responsible for its administration. One vote can be cast with one MKR token, and the winner is the option that receives the most support. Token holders are allowed to vote on various matters, including the appointment of team members, the modification of fees, and the adoption of new rules. The MakerDAO stablecoin must maintain its stability while completely transparent and operating at peak efficiency. Another illustration of this concept is the DeFi protocol known as Compound, which enables users to lend and borrow cryptocurrency. It does this by distributing a governance token known as Comp, which enables its community of users to vote on important matters. The tokens are distributed to users in direct proportion to the amount of on-chain activity they perform. To put it another way, the more money you lend and borrow on Compound, the greater number of Comp tokens you will accumulate. In a manner analogous to MakerDAO, one Comp token is equivalent to one vote. Users can also delegate their tokens to others so that others can vote on their behalf. Noteworthy is the fact that Compound gave up ownership of the network's admin key in the year 2020. It indicates that the project is now solely managed by the people who have the tokens, and there are no other governance procedures. Other significant governance tokens include those issued by the decentralized exchanges Uniswap and PancakeSwap, the decentralized financial lending platform Aave, the Web3 NFT forum ApeCoin DAO, and the virtual world platform Decentraland. Every project has unique guidelines for how its governance tokens should be used. Different calculation models determine how tokens should be allocated to various stakeholders, such as the founding team, investors, and users. While some governance tokens can only vote on a limited number of governance issues, others can vote on the vast majority of topics. There are two types of governance tokens, those that can earn financial dividends and those that cannot. Governance structures, the future of tokenized governance? The technical term for the process by which one cryptocurrency is exchanged for another cryptocurrency is known as swap, which is part of the larger concept known as atomic swaps. A swap involves the transfer of full ownership rights from one owner to another without involving a third-party service. Atomic swaps are becoming increasingly popular, and one of the top projects working on implementing this technology is known as Komodo. The project has created a platform, which is also known as a protocol, that allows atomic and peer-to-peer swaps to be executed in a decentralized manner. On-chain governance. On-chain governance occurs when the protocol rules are practically hard-coded into it. This implies that every decision will be immediately translated into code that can be read. On-chain governance is something projects like Tezos intend to do in the future. The primary problem with selecting this alternative is that developers could not be sufficiently motivated. The ability for developers to display their proposals on-chain provides a potential solution to this problem. If a vote on the blockchain accepts the suggestion, it will be swiftly implemented through the test net. At some point, a concluding vote is held before the proposal is published on the mainnet. Currently, a few kinks need to be worked out about on-chain governance. The key concern is that certain stakeholders could be able to game the system because there are yet to be any undefined standards to prevent them from doing so. This is the case because there aren't any norms to prevent them from doing so. Off-chain governance. Off-chain governance is a type of governance that occurs when decision-making procedures occur on a higher social level before developers encode them into the protocol. Off-chain governance is currently the dominant form utilized by both Ethereum and Bitcoin. For instance, Ethereum acquires improvement methods through GitHub, but Bitcoin developers present their improvement recommendations via a mailing list. GitHub is a file-sharing website. There is a widespread perception that off-chain governance possesses more built-in checks and balances than on-chain governance. Whether or not a proposal will be implemented rests on the miners. Nevertheless, users can either sell their tokens or migrate to a different protocol as a response. Advantages of governance tokens. Off-chain governance involves a wider network of stakeholders than on-chain governance does. This occurs because those must decide with the most stake in it, i.e., users. Off-chain governance provides an opportunity for developers to submit proposals that are supported by a wider range of people and technologies. On-chain governance is usually limited to a single jurisdiction, meaning there is only one way to vote on or approve a proposal. Off-chain governance is often subject to a variety of alternative decision-making procedures. Off-chain governance allows the network to maintain its decentralization. On-chain governance provides weak points in its development because developers are more likely to deviate from the will of the users who own the underlying tokens. Off-chain governance provides a means for the users and developers to discuss and come up with tremendous changes that would have otherwise been overlooked. Decentralized governance functionality, a key mission of the market protocol. The management of DAOs is very difficult because they are often decentralized entities. Their governance structure should be designed in such a way that will sustain and even grow their popularity over time. To this end, DAOstack has developed a tool that can streamline governance functionality significantly. This tool allows their governance system to become more coordinated and responsive. Opportunities for collaboration, a new way to use the market protocol. The first question people often ask about the DAO is how to use it. For example, how do you vote, or what are the mechanics behind being able to charge people? The answer to these questions is, it's all in the protocol. These are the kinds of questions that projects are trying to answer in their mainnet iteration. Greater efficiency, a decentralized protocol for coordinating decentralized projects. Allowing those interested in projects to have the tools to coordinate the efforts of volunteers can help optimize the time and energy they spend on these efforts. The ability to increase volunteer coordination is a key aspect of decentralized governance. This is especially true concerning DAOs, which will be created due to this network. On the other hand, it is also true that one of the chief advantages associated with this type of organization is its autonomy and independence. Disadvantages of governance tokens. The decision-making process could be easily tampered with. If the tools and procedures that govern the organization are not well thought out, this could lead to considerable chaos. This is one of the critical points in on-chain and off-chain governance. There is a high risk of opening up the decision-making doors to bad actors. One example of this is when certain developers can game the system by submitting proposals that benefit only a small minority at the expense of everyone else. This is the case because there aren't any defined standards that forbid this behavior. The first question we will answer is, what happens when a project gets built? The answer to this question follows: build, manage, and market it. This process has already been described in detail in various books that have been published on the subject of DAOs. Are governance tokens worth it? The question that should be considered first is whether or not these tokens are truly unique. Depending on the actual use case of each token, the answer to this question could be yes in some cases and no in others. One major issue with governance tokens is that they need to share a common value. This fact is often reflected in their fluctuating market prices. Their meaning becomes more solid when tied to a more concrete token, like Ethereum or Bitcoin. The fact that holders of governance tokens are given a voice in the project's direction makes these tokens very strong. In addition, governance tokens have the potential to enhance the effectiveness of organizations. Because of this, the organization as a whole could become more productive and prosperous. In addition, governance tokens can be staked, traded, swapped, and exchanged like any other cryptocurrency token. They also present a wonderful possibility to generate income without actively doing anything. Users who own stake governance tokens could be eligible for additional benefits, such as enhanced access to services or a share of the revenues generated by the protocol. If this is the case, holding a governance token is analogous to having a portion of an income stream to which you are entitled. So, how exactly do value be added to governance tokens? There are several possible routes. To begin, there is the possibility that the value of the tokens will rise as the overall success of the enterprise does. For example, most new blockchain games allow early adopters to stake their governance tokens in the future in exchange for a share of the game's earnings. In this scenario, even though it does not have much value initially, a governance token might be worth more. Buying back tokens issued by a decentralized system is another way to boost the value of the tokens issued by that network. As a result, fewer tokens will be in circulation, increasing each token's value. Additionally, suppose a project is particularly successful, and the value of the system's token rises. In that case, buybacks could be used to return governance tokens to investors that turned their tokens into, for example, Bitcoin. As a bonus, this offers projects the opportunity to increase their popularity. There are several ways in which DAOstack intends to enhance the value of governance tokens. One of these ways is using a mechanism called microfractionalized DAOs. What's next for governance tokens? Governance tokens have already demonstrated their value and will likely be an essential component of future industry expansion. However, the future of any facet of the cryptocurrency sector is impossible to forecast. Token holders can build a sustainable community and ensure their voices are heard using decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs, which facilitate the process. These online communities can take the form of anything from metaverses to investment DAOs, amongst many other possible configurations. Given the significance of governance tokens to decentralization, their use should continue to expand shortly. To a significant extent, this will be determined by the degree to which the DeFi and DAO models are utilized. A decentralized autonomous organization, DAO, allows for a larger community's actions to directly impact a project's success by giving that community the authority to run the project. Its presence will likely give the tokens built using DAO stack an important place in the industry. Governance tokens continue to present an enormously valuable role in the cryptocurrency sector. As such, they will continue to show their value and maintain high demand in the short term. Investment in this market sector is becoming increasingly popular, as shown by the number of people buying and selling these tokens on exchanges. Conclusion: governance tokens are cryptocurrency assets designed to give their holder influence within a crypto-based organization. These assets are different from the more familiar utility tokens. The main difference between these digital assets is that a utility token is used to pay for services or goods within an ecosystem. In contrast, a governance token allows its holders to be involved in the community's decision-making process. Governance tokens' growth in popularity will be reflected in the overall expansion of the industry.